It all started one chilly morning. In late fall, I had just finished checking on the solar water pump behind my house and was walking back toward the ranch when I saw it, a tall white metal fence bolted across the entrance to my land, like I was some kind of criminal. Bold red letters screamed across the panels. Property line, HOA restricted access. And to top it off, two massive rental trucks were parked sideways, completely blocking my gate. I stopped in my tracks. My breath fogged up the air, my own driveway sealed shut by a group I'd never even agreed to join. Now, to be clear, I live on a private ranch. I'm not in some cookie-cutter suburb with trimmed hedges and pastel mailboxes. My place is surrounded by woods, open fields, and a small creek that's been here longer than the town itself. The nearest HOA is nearly half a mile away, or at least it used to be, and yet right there on my land was a flimsy little zip-tied sign flapping in the breeze. It read, HOA enforcement, order gate closed. Until further notice, non-compliance with community guidelines. Community guidelines. What community I own? Every acre within a 400-yard radius. I pulled out my phone, furious, and called the sheriff. He said they'd received some complaints recently from West Pine Ridge Estates, the neighborhood down the road. Apparently, their HOA believed my fencing was disrupting neighborhood aesthetic standards, which is lawyer speak. For they didn't like my eagle statue over the gate. But the sheriff made one thing clear. They had no jurisdiction. It was my land, my gate, my right. Then I saw her. A white SUV with West Pine HOA stenciled on the side was parked just off my boundary line, inside sipping her coffee like she'd just conquered. Rome was a woman I recognized. Beatrice Lyle, HOA president. I'd seen her at a town meeting, once preaching about community harmony and restoring order to rural chaos. She rolled down her window as I stormed up. Good morning, she chirped, like we were neighbors chatting over lemonade. Just a temporary safety measure. The board voted unanimously to restrict your access while we sort this out. Sort what out? I snapped. This is my property. She smiled like she was explaining bedtime rules to a child. We rezoned the road leading to your gate. It now falls within HOA boundaries. Didn't you read the notice? Oh, I had read that notice. Buried in legal jargon about county road maintenance. Improvements was a single line about easement reassignment. I thought it was about potholes. Turns out it was a land grab, disguised as a civic upgrade. Classic HOA move. That was the moment I decided I wasn't just going to fight back. I was going to own the road they used to control me. Let me take you back a few months. After 30 years working in aerospace engineering in Tucson, I finally retired and returned to the family ranch. Peace horses, fishing pond. The dream. But peace doesn't last long when people with clipboards start sniffing around. It began with a group of HOA board members surveying the dirt road leading to my front gate. They said it was about road improvement, promised lower taxes, better maintenance. I said no, politely. A week later, I got an official-looking letter, then another, then a legal packet. They held a vote without me. And just like that, The road was theirs, on paper. They didn't stop there. First came the fines. $50 for my mailbox. $75 for the color of my barn. $150 because my dog barked after 7 p.m. Then came the fence across my gate. That's when I called my buddy Vince, who used to work in municipal land records. "You want to buy the road?" he asked, half laughing. "Yes," I said, "every inch of it." Turns out the county still leased the road. The HOA was due to renew it in 3 months. If I made an offer first and agreed to maintain it, I could outbid them. Legally, Vince helped with paperwork. I used my retirement savings, and we got it done. At the final hearing, Beatrice and her HOA army showed up with charts, legal pads, and crocodile tears, claimed I was a danger to community cohesion. But when the clerk read the ruling aloud, my heart skipped a beat. Ownership of County Road 74B is hereby transferred to Mr. Elliot Travis, pending maintenance agreement. I signed that day. The road was mine. 1 week later, I sent the HOA an official letter. All West Pine HOA vehicles must now pay a road usage fee. Effective immediately. You should have seen their faces. But Beatrice, she didn't take defeat lightly. 3 nights later, I caught her and 3 board members digging a trench across my road in the dead of night with a rented backhoe. Claimed it was emergency erosion control. Ended up busting a water pipe and flooding half the trail. Officer Glenn, the deputy sheriff, showed up mid-chaos. "You have no authority here," he told her. "This man owns the road. That's his water line. That damage, that's 10 grand. Beatrice stammered. "We were just protecting residents." Glenn sighed. "You're trespassing, and I'm filing a report." But I didn't press charges. Not yet. Instead, I started building something bigger. I rallied nearby landowners, 5 ranchers, who'd also been pushed around by the HOA. We formed the Independent Landowners Coalition, drafted bylaws, became official, and set rules for using our road. Beatrice's response: a lawsuit. Then a PR campaign. Articles popped up online, painting me as some power-hungry toll collector. They even showed up on the local news. Then it got personal. I came home one day to find my gate gone. Saw it off, stolen. My dog, Cash, was barking like mad. A sign nailed to the post read, "You don't own us." That gate had been built by my dad. Hand-welded, painted with our family crest. It wasn't just vandalism. It was war. I called Glenn. Checked the cameras. Footage showed 2 masked men in a white pickup truck hauling it off at 2:14 a.m. No plates, no prints, but I had my suspicions. I hired a private investigator. And wouldn't you know it, one of the men, Brad Lyle, Beatrice's husband, former logistics contractor, still had access to HOA funds. He'd bought the jammers that cut my power and water the night before, caught him on video unloading the same crates from the gate footage. We filed a lawsuit. The sheriff launched an investigation. Brad was arrested. Beatrice, she disappeared from public view. But it wasn't over. A man in a suit showed up on my land. "Mr. Travis," he said, I represent Silver Rock communities. We're offering triple the market value for your land. We plan to build a luxury subdivision, Travis Creek Estates. He showed me maps. My barn turned into a tennis court. My pond replaced with a dog park. I closed the briefcase. You're standing on a private road, I said. That little offer just cost you $75. They didn't give up. Filled an emergency motion for eminent domain. Launched smear campaigns, tried to frame me as a lone old man standing in the way of progress. So I fought back publicly, started a site called Don't Pave My Past, posted every document, photo, and video I had. It went viral. Veterans, farmers, even city folks from across the country joined in. Some donated. Some came to visit. One guy drove from Kansas just to shake my hand. In the final hearing, the courtroom was packed. Our side presented everything: gate theft, sabotage, shady, HOA accountant. We exposed the shell companies Brad used to pay for the damage. We even had a secret recording of Brad saying, "Everyone has a breaking point." The judge ruled in our favor. HOA powers revoked. Silver Rock's rezoning proposal denied. Brad sentenced. Beatrice gone. Me still here on my land. We rebuilt the barn. Started a community garden. Even opened a small outdoor education space for local kids to learn about land stewardship and freedom. Right by the road, I put up a new sign. Welcome to Travis Ranch, where we don't back down. So next time someone tries to fence you in or silence your voice, just remember, you might not have to fight fire with fire, but you sure as hell can own the road. If you've ever had a run-in with an HOA or seen one go too far, drop a comment below. Let's hear your story. Because trust me, you're not alone. And sometimes the best way to fight back is to never move over.